What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cass here. That's Valente, and down there is Dakota, and we are here for the UKW Draft, episode 0 of Season 5. And we're here, guys. We are 2 weeks past Pinnacle, and we are excited for what Season 5 has in store. And as announced at the end of Pinnacle, we will be heading into the UKW Draft. That is tonight. We're going to get into that by announcing UKW Renegade will have the #1 overall pick. But before we get into that, we have some people that are going to be considered undraftable. Every UKW women on the roster, that includes the UKW Women's Champion Kitsune, the former UKW Women's Champion Naz, and every other woman on the roster, as well, Valente, as certain tag teams. Every faction was allowed to make 2 people undraftable. The tag team for that faction was made undraftable. So, for example, for the House of Fairholm, John Fairholm and Adam Wolf are draftable, while the Goldmans are not. I'm going to put up a graphic on the screen. Y'all have been seeing that. So now, without further ado, and with the click of this button right here, we would like to announce that UKW Renegade is on the clock. So guys, there are so many guys that could be drafted #1 by UKW Renegade. Like, when it really comes to your mind, Valente, who do you think is your shoo-in pick for the #1 overall pick?
I mean, for the longest time that we've known about this draft, I've had a feeling that you obviously got to go with whoever the world champion is. So that Pinnacle triple threat, it was all about whoever won between those 3 guys. I think obviously there's no way. I mean, this is like Caleb Williams this year. This is like Trevor Lawrence a few years ago. If you guys know the NFL, so I think that the shoe-in 100% Zay Jordan's got to be #1 overall pick.
Dakota, would you agree with that?
No. I understand the championship aspect of it. I understand Jay Jordan's great defeat at Pinnacle of Andre Simmons and Rogue Abbott. I understand all that. But Andre
Dakota,
Simmons.
not to interrupt, but
I'm going to go
UKW
Andre
Renegade
Simmons.
has sent in their pick. And without
Andre
further
Simmons,
ado,
no doubt.
UKW Renegade select. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just saw that. Zay Jordan, Valente was correct, was the #1 overall pick for UKW Renegade. The World Heavyweight Championship is going to Monday nights. And now, without further ado, we're going to boot up the 60-second timer again. And UKW Valor is now on the clock. And we're going to start with Dakota this time. As, Dakota, you just saw Zay Jordan go #1 overall to the UKW Renegade. Do you believe that your former pick for the #1 overall pick now, Andre Simmons, is the right pick for Valor?
Yeah, I mean, let's think about it. Andre Simmons held the title for almost all year long. He defended multiple times. He's a great wrestler, and there's no doubt that Valor could use somebody like that. But you got to think, there's the new international champion in Connor Irwin. Just beat Shane Roach, ended that. Shane Roach now debating if his career is where is that right now. So I could see Andre or Connor going, or we could get Cole. Cole's also another good factor in this. But I think I'm going to go with Andre.
Well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, UKW Valor has sent in their draft pick. And now, UKW Valor is here to announce
UKW Valor selects
Dakota was correct. Connor Irwin was the pick that Valor went with, securing the Internationals Championship. So now, Renegade is on the clock for their second round pick. And Valente, you got to really start thinking, are they going to shoot for some of these mid-card championships? Are they going to shoot for Diego Ortiz? And are they going to have, is somebody going to be willing to draft Diego Ortiz with the contract issues that Diego has? He wants a lot of money. That's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Cruiserweight Championship hostage right now. So, I still think that the main thing with these earlier rounds, you want to try and take as many championships or take as more prestigious of the championships possible. So we still got Pride Championship. I think that's the only one.
Pride,
yeah.
Cruiserweight.
Cruiserweight,
Pride,
television.
Television.
You go PJ. I think it's PJ TV champion. I don't know. I'm blanking.
Yes, it is.
You
PJ.
go Cole. You go PJ. You can go Diego again. I don't know which one I'd go for. I'd probably go for Cole just because there's not really any baggage surrounding him alone. Ortiz
let's find
has
out. As Renegade is here to announce their second round pick. UKW Renegade selects guys, we have just saw that UKW Renegade has selected Dakota's pick for number 1 overall, Andre Simmons. So, Dakota, now that Valor is on the clock, you got to think, is UKW Renegade winning the early part of this draft? Because they have not only secured the number 1 pick and got the World Heavyweight Champion, but they also secured who you thought was the number 1 guy on the board in the former World Heavyweight Champion, Andre Simmons. So they not only have the World Championship, they also got who you valued as the number 1 guy on the board.
Yeah, I mean, Andre Simmons is great. I value that a lot. They have definitely gotten 2 great so far. Of course, since they joined Andre Simmons. Of course, Valor's currently got Connor Irwin. We could see somebody. I think Valor goes for a Gabriel Cole pickup right now. Maybe a Rogue Abbott pickup. Maybe a Big K pickup. One of those guys.
It really
one of those guys. Maybe they'll shock it, but with some great talent. Maybe they're focusing more on talent than championship reigns. Maybe how they feel in the ring.
Okay. We have 5 seconds left, and Valor has sent in their draft pick.
UKW Valor selects.
This is where UKO Valor lights up bright on Friday night. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
All right, guys, UKW Valor has selected the real shock of the draft and have selected the Prince of Darkness, Black Iron, coming off of a crushing loss in the 8-man Full Metal Mayhem match. But we knew that Black Iron was focused on being presented as a main event talent going forward, guys. And as Renegade is back on the clock here in the 3rd round, as they have just went on the clock now, you got to think that they're going to shoot for one of these other champions. These brands have got to start locking in who they want their champions to be in the rounds going forward, because if they don't, you're in the position of really being a bad spot.
Yeah, I don't understand how Valor decided it was a good idea to pick Black Iron. Not that he doesn't deserve to go early, but I just think that you had to lock up another champion. You know, you have you have a former world champion on the other brand, and then you have the current world champion on the other brand. So now you got to start building up your championships because they're still out there.
I think Valor's more going for the talent wise so far. They're looking for in-ring talent over championship reigns. But exactly. I agree with you on the they need to lock in a championship here. They need to get somebody with a championship, but they're not going to have too many on their brand.
Now here we go. 2 seconds left as the 3rd overall pick. I mean, the first pick of the 3rd round is in. So here we go. UKW Renegade selects. All right, guys. Diego Ortiz is the third round selection for UKW Renegade, bringing over that UKW Cruiserweight Championship. Valente, we didn't know when Diego was going to go. He was asking a lot of money, like you said, holding the UKW Championship hostage. Now we know he will be on Monday nights. It's a
I
major
just want to know
thing.
what he got
Wow.
paid. I want to know what he got paid.
So
Yeah, I
now,
want to know that contract and how Renegade's going to be absolutely bankrupt.
okay, now that Valor's
Yeah.
back on the clock, you got to think, guys, they missed out on the opportunity to go for a guy like Diego Ortiz. In the second round, they went with Black Iron. You got to think third round now, they've got to go for one of these mid-card champions, whether it's Gabriel Cole or the television champion PJ Razor. So,
Yeah, they got to get that mid card championship to be able to. And Gabriel Cole's a good pick. We know Gabriel Cole's if they're going on, if like I've seen with the Black Iron pick, they're going on ring talent. They're looking at it as ring talent and what they can bring for ratings. I say you grab Gabriel Cole, who is not only have amazing ring talent, you grab him for that Pride Championship.
Yeah, I mean, their backs are against the wall right now. You definitely got to take a champion here. There's, I believe, 3 champions on Renegade already. I want to
Yeah.
say, or 2 champions
3
on Renegade already.
there's 3 champions.
And you only have
The
one.
World
You got to pick
Championship.
one.
That's the big one. Hold on, real big.
Okay, well now that the time has expired, UKW Valor has selected
UKW Valor selects.
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
Alright, guys, after the selection of the UKW Pride Heavyweight Champion Gabriel Cole, we now move in to the 4th round. And now you got to think this, now that Renegade's on the clock, Valente, you got to think this move's pretty clear here, in my opinion. There's 1 champion remaining. Each brand has 2. Valor has the International and Pride champions, while Renegade has the World Heavyweight Championship as well as the Cruiserweight Championship. There's 1 title remaining up for grabs here in the draft, and Renegade has the position to take that championship and really put Valor's backs against the wall.
Yeah, you can't let that championship slip, because the moment you let that championship slip, you're giving the other team another advantage. So you want to take that championship, you want to have 3 championships, leave them with 2, and it's got to be PJ, right? It's got to be.
Now yeah, and with 13 seconds on the clock, Renegade has already put in their draft pick. So now, without further ado, here we go. UKW Renegade selects
Heartbeats so loud, here we go again. Renegade souls ready to break the chains. With a fire burning in the night, no stopping us now. We're breaking through the fire.
just like we thought. The pick here in the 4th round was the television champion PJ Razor. So now we got to know, now that all the champions are off the board, Valente, Valor is on the clock. What will be the move here for UKW Valor?
This is where you start thinking talent-wise. Who's got the best draw? Who's the biggest draw? I know Shane Roach is someone that they would consider if he wasn't already talking about retirement. I mean, you got to think.
I've been wanting to
Gotta
get
make
into.
sure.
I've been wanting to
You
get
gotta make
into
sure
that.
he's committed.
I
You gotta
wanted-
make sure he's committed.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get into that. Is one of the brands going to be hesitant to draft the former world and international champion because they don't know about his commitment level? Would they
It's
be?
true. He's retired once.
Would they be worried about the commitment he would have towards the brand? You got to be worried about that. Well, with 15 seconds left, we still haven't heard what Valor's selection is going to be. And you really start to get nervous because if the time elapses without a pick in, Renegade will be able to step in and select the next pick. But no, Valor has sit in their selection with time to spare. So let's get into who Valor will select.
UKW Valor selects.
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating.
Okay, the shock of the draft so far, as they have secured the international sensation Yamashita, 6'5", past 300 pounds. Renegade is on the clock, and that is a heavy hitter for UKW Valor, Valente.
I mean, you gotta take risks, right?
The
And
brand new...
he's known all around the world, and I didn't expect him to show up. Honestly, I didn't expect him to be drafted so early, but the fact that he's known everywhere, that's a good pick. Honestly, it's a risky one, but it's a good one.
Valor is looking to build a brand of new faces and new talent with a new push to their product. We've seen the way they've drafted. Valente, they are focused on putting a great product on Friday nights. But let's see what Renegade could do as they go and look to secure pick 5. And let's see what that could be, as Renegade has indeed sent in their draft pick. So as now we're going to announce it. UKW Renegade has sent in their pick. Here we go. UKW Renegade selects Okay, talk about international sensations. Pick number 5 for UKW Renegade is locking down the Danger Zone, Chris Danger, at round 5, pick 1. An amazing selection. We saw Chris be able to bring and push Gabriel Cole to his limits. And now you got to think that maybe Danger is looking to build his mantra on the UKW roster. It's a great position to be in.
That's an amazing pick for them too, because he's, despite lack of appearance previous to very recent, he's been super active, super entertaining, and he's done well. I mean, he's championship caliber, he's everything. Valor's got to pick it up. I'm not gonna lie, Valor is falling a little behind here. They got to pick it up. They need someone, maybe a Grayson Duck. He just got a big win. Maybe Shane Roach. I mean, he's kind of slipping. Shane Roach is kind of slipping already. So yeah, they got to pick it up. This next draft pick for them is got to be huge.
And we are at 25 seconds, and Valor has already sent in their draft pick. This is the earliest pick that we have seen. So let's get into who their 5th round selection will be.
UKW Valor selects
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
All right. That is a way to get yourself right back in position, Valente, as they have selected who we have considered the main character of UKW through season 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are talking about Rogue Abbott, the former 3-time UKW World Champion. And you were talking about Valor needing to step it up, Valor needing to select somebody worth taking. That's somebody that'll get them right back where they want to be.
Who let him fall this far?
Rogue Abbott has filled to the 5th round, and that is a great selection by Valor. And I think that's why Valor was so keen to get that draft pick in as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, they wrote it on the card and they handed it to us like that.
That's a crazy thing. We got 30 seconds left, and Renegade hasn't sent in their draft pick yet. So they're still debating on who they want. There's a lot of good people left to be taken. A lot of new stars that saw Pinnacle are very interested in joining the UKW roster. So a lot of them will be announced later tonight in the draft. But we're going to see is now with 12 seconds, Renegade has sent in their draft pick. And here we go, UKW Renegade. UKW Renegade selects selected Big K Caleb Allen, a massive WA guy riding a wave of momentum past UKW Rumble in the Bronx and all the way to Fight Night for his World Championship match against Simmons. Came up on the losing end at Pinnacle to Grayson Duck. But you got to think now that we've seen Big K go to Renegade Valente, where will his former partner in crime and his worst enemy, Grayson Duck, go? As Valor has been very... All right, go ahead.
I think personally, Grayson Duck's got to go right now. Like, you cannot let them two end up on the same brand again, because that right there is automatically something that you need to keep away from Big K. And the fact that Grayson Duck has already went lower than Big K is kind of insane for the fact that he's beaten him twice. So Grayson's got to go here. Right?
You got to understand, though, it makes sense from Tristan Sidney. We know Tristan Sidney is the guy declaring the draft picks for Renegade. It makes sense for Sidney. Big K is coming off a win against Gabriel Cole and Tyler Drake, as well as a win off Rogue Abbott. He's the only man to ever pin Rogue Abbott clean, and with 8 seconds left, Valor has sent in their draft pick. And without further ado, here we go.
Be UKW Valor selects.
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
It is the guy you had just mentioned, Valente. It is Grayson Duck. So it will be official. The UKW will be splitting Big K and Grayson Duck between Valor and Renegade.
I think that is best for the safety of our ring and our announce table.
Not only that, I think it's best for their health. Their anger at each other, their continued hatred just kept brewing and brewing, and I don't think it would have ever stopped. So I think this is a beautiful pick by Valor. Separating talents, beautiful.
As now we get into the 7th round, guys. We're already in the 7th round of this UKW draft, and Renegade is on the clock. And there's a couple of guys you could really think of going with here. You have mentioned Shane Roach a couple of times, Valente. He's on the board. I think of the former UKW Cruiserweight Champion, Colt King. He's on the board, in my opinion. There's multiple guys you could think of. Now, with 20 seconds, UKW Renegade has sent in their draft pick. Here we go. UKW Renegade has announced.
Who's it going to be?
UKW Renegade selects. Okay, a guy with major implications following UKW Pinnacle. Guys, they have selected Parker Peterson.
Ooh.
A major selection. A guy with a World Heavyweight Championship match on the cards for the season premiere. And now we know that World Championship will be as follows on the debut episode of UKW Renegade, which is going to be July 15th. This coming up Monday, UKW Renegade. Our main event will be Zay Jordan, the UKW World Heavyweight Champion, in his first title defense, taking on the ultimate opportunist, Parker Peterson. A major opportunity. As soon as we get out of that plug, we are here to announce that Valor is quick to answer, as they have already sent in their draft pick for round 7. And with their draft pick, we're going to have to see who it is.
UKW Valor selects.
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
They have selected the challenger at Pinnacle for the UKW Television Championship. We're talking about Andre Graves, the guy that PJ Razor quickly disposed of. You gotta think Graves has really went on a downward spiral since that loss to Andre Simmons. He was really riding an absolute wave of momentum, Valente, before that loss to Simmons. And maybe he's going through a bit of a maybe morality or a bit of belief in himself issue right now. We're going.
Yeah, I mean, his self confidence is. I've kind of seen it dwindle down ever since the loss to Andre Simmons at Royal Gauntlet. So hopefully, this kind of mid round draft pick. I mean, there's guys that he got drafted before that I believe deserve to go higher, but um, if he can use this as a stepping stone to get back up to where he was, I could see this being a good pick for Valor.
All right, guys, and with that pick, Renegade is on. Renegade has already sent in their draft pick as well. UKW Renegade selects. Just talked about how maybe Andre Graves went before he was supposed to, Valente. This is a guy that Renegade sees a lot in, and that is Isaiah Stevenson. They have selected Isaiah Stevenson at the 8th round over guys like Colt King, over guys like Shane Roach, a guy that was seen with major potential going after season 3, Valente, and now you got to think maybe Isaiah Stevenson could re-up and get back into the position he was in at one time.
I mean, he had a huge wave of momentum going for him. Like, he defeated Daniel Dynamite when nobody else had ever done it before.
He was in the finals with Rogue Abbott in the Champions Crown tournament for the World Championship. A absolute wave of momentum was on his side.
Yeah, and I mean, all he has to do is just find a way to snap back into that mode. And this could be a good pick. I mean, again, Valor's taking a lot of risky picks, guys that are, I would say, projects, if you will, and trying to turn them into hopefully big stars in the future. So
well, we gotta see who is gonna be their answer. As Renegade just went with Stevenson.
UKW Valor selects.
Okay, Valor has now selected somebody that Gabriel Cole might need to keep his eye on. Former MMA heavyweight champion. We are talking about Akuma Kenta, the former mixed martial artist turned professional wrestler that has his eyes set on the UKW Pride Heavyweight Championship. A guy making the transition from MMA, Valente, over to professional wrestling. And you got to think maybe Gabriel Cole needs to keep his eyes out for Akuma Kenta.
In a professional wrestler going over to a professional fighter going over to a wrestler is not easy. I'm going to say Gabriel Cole still wins this, as he has the experience, he has the ring knowledge over anybody that's trying to transition. If that ends up happening as a fight, I already see Gabriel Cole taking him out really fast, really swift, and trying to teach him the ropes, trying to say, hey, you're not going to come in here, you're not going to act like you're hot shit, and you're not going to take my title.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting, though.
As we're heading into the 8th round, we already have our draft pick selected. Renegade has sent in their pick for the 8th round, and here we go. As they UKW Renegade selects. Selected the rock star Brad Barnett, a guy who has been across the call landscape, has signed on the UKW dotted line, and now will make Renegade the true place to be for a rock star experience. A massive opportunity as he is looking to grow his ability and maybe challenge eventually Valente for that UKW World Heavyweight Championship.
And I don't know too much about him. He's got a good bit of ways to go. You know, I'm a big on first impressions, and I haven't seen anything from him yet. So we got to see.
Now we've got 45 seconds left on the clock, and Valor has sent in their draft pick with 40 seconds on the clock. So they only took 20
Another.
seconds. Valor is quickly to get their draft picks out.
I want to see
And
who picks up Stain Roach.
Valor has selected
UKW Valor selects.
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
Smith, the returning Caleb Smith to UKW. If anybody remembers, Season 2 to Season 3, Caleb Smith was a member of the original Pride Division. And now he is a member of UKW Valor. A
There we
big
go again.
draft pick. And that
We
is
could
somebody
see
I
a
really do
Cole.
believe could challenge Gabriel Cole. Caleb Smith has the experience of being in the Pride Division before, challenging for that Pride Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be a major opportunity to see what Caleb Smith can do, not only for the Pride Championship, but overall in Valor. As we have 45 seconds left on the clock, Renegade has still not made their selection yet. And guys, there are still big names on this board. We think of John Fairholm, the man that lost in the first round to Gabriel Cole. We think of Colt King. We think of the former UKW World Champion Shane Roach. There are people that still have yet to be selected. And with 24 seconds on the clock, we have go ahead and announced that Renegade has sent in their pick. And they have selected UKW Renegade selects
Heartbeats so loud, here we go again. Renegade souls ready to break the chains. With a fire burning in the night, no stopping us now. We're breaking through the fire.
Alex Harper, a new signing to UKW. Harper looking to bring a mix of brutality and strength. And guys, I think it's really shocking to me that guys like John Fairholm and Shane Roach and Colt King have yet to be selected. Another guy we haven't thought about is the former Cruiserweight champion Richard Ward, who has still not been selected.
A lot of guys out there that are like,
I was gonna say.
I would say the closest possible to a guaranteed star. There are people out there.
And
I mean, Shane Roach is a guaranteed star, and he's still out there.
you gotta
The
think,
former
though,
cruiserweight. I was gonna say the former cruiserweight champion Daniel Dynamite.
Dynamite's
Still out
out there
there.
still, yes. You gotta think maybe it's starting to weigh on them. Maybe it's starting to weigh on these GMs a little bit of maybe getting some fresh faces in. So here we go. 28 seconds on the clock, and Valor has sent in their draft pick.
UKW Valor selects.
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
Here we go. It is the leader of the House of Fairholm.
Ooh,
It
what a
is
pickup.
Big John. Big John Fairholm with the pick there in the ninth round. As now we head into the 10th round with major
Listen, this is-
opportunities.
This is what I'm thinking Valor's doing. They're looking for talent. They're not looking for championships. They're looking for talent. They got it. They're looking for in-ring talent to put on ratings.
And now here we go. We have still not yet to know, Valente, who the GM for UKW Valor is.
Yeah, I mean, this guy likes to take a lot of risk. I'll say that. I don't know anything about it. I don't know who he is either. Once we figure out who it is, though, I mean, I feel like we'd be able to get a better understanding.
As now this is the 10th round. This marks our halfway point. As who's going to be the number 1 overall pick in the 10th round. As time is going, we have 23 seconds and the pick is in for UKW Renegade, and they have selected UKW Renegade selects
Heartbeats so loud, here we go again. Renegade souls ready to break the chains. With a fire burning in the night, no stopping us now. We're breaking through the fire.
UKW Cruiserweight Champion. It is in fact
Ooh.
Daniel Dynamite. A massive,
Okay.
massive selection there. a guy that could play factors into multiple different divisions in UKW Renegade. And now we know that Valor is on the clock.
Yeah,
As
Daniel
who-
Dynamite at one point to me was the biggest prospect that UKW had ever seen. I didn't think it was possible for anyone to beat him, and he got beat. And then the whole load of other things happened, and it was kind of hard to find for him to find his place here. You know,
Could get back up on the horse if you think about it. He was undefeated. He was one of the, if not one of the most dominating cruiserweight champions UKW has ever seen. But now we go to Valor. We got some prospects on the board still. We still have Mason Andrews on the board. We still got new guys like Eddie Nitro on the board. We got people like that. You're looking for talent. You want to get talent. You want to get Colt King maybe. You want to get somebody that's new, that's fresh.
All right, guys,
that can get
18
you ratings.
seconds on the clock. They have sent in their draft pick for Valor. Who will it be?
UKW Valor selects
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
In the chance, Valente, and drafted the self-proclaimed top draw in the 10th round. Pick 2 in the 10th round. Shane Roach has been selected to UKW Valor. Will join names like Connor Irwin, his former protege, Black Iron, Gabriel Cole, Yamashita, and Rogue Abbott will be joined by the former UKW World Champion. And that's starting to look like a winning roster.
hey, I mean that draft pick turned it around for them too. Because personally, I thought that Renegade was winning the draft up to this point, but now it's looking a little bit closer. And like Shane Roach, like I said, guaranteed star. They took a guaranteed star on the 12th round, 11th round, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
As guys,
I'm happy
we
to
have,
hear this one
we have heard
because
from
we
the
thought Shane Roach's career was over. We'd heard rumors, but rumors are rumors, and we see that now.
You got to think, though, that they wouldn't have taken the chance. Valor wouldn't have taken the chance unless Shane had guaranteed them something.
That is true. So now the rumors are demolished, and we see Shane Roach back on UKW in a new light. Glad to have him back.
Well, the UKW board has also sent me a new declaration that pick 11 through 20, that round 11 through 20 will not have clocks, that the picks will be sent in sporadically. So let's get into it. In the 11th round, let's see who Renegade has selected. They have sent in their draft pick.
12th round.
UKW Renegade selects
Heartbeats so loud, here we go again. Renegade souls ready to break the chains. With a fire burning in the night, no stopping us now. We're breaking through the fire.
Hatsumi Cure. Hatsumi Cure was the draft pick for UKW Renegade. A massive selection by Renegade and an absolute game changer that they could not let Valor get. Hatsumi Cure is a guy that is a massive in-ring technician and would make a perfect fit in the Pride division. They could not let Valor get him. Now, with the 11th round now on for Valor, we were waiting to get Valor's draft pick in, and like you've said, Dakota, there's some names still on this board.
Yeah. I mean, Colt King, I don't understand how he's not gone yet. He went toe-to-toe with Diego Ortiz. He absolutely stunned everybody in the Mall of America, defeating Richard Ward. I don't understand how they haven't taken a talent like Colt King yet. It'd be major for Valor to pick him up.
Yeah, Colt King's one of the guys that are slipping too. I mean, he, like you said, went toe to toe with Richard Ward. I mean, he stunned Richard Ward. He stunned all of us. I mean, he's a former champion, and there's a couple of former champions that still could be taken. Richard Ward, even he held the championship for a while. He's got a lot of valor, if you will. So I mean,
All right, here we
they
go.
gotta-
Valor has sent in their
gotta be
draft pick
cool.
whenever y'all are ready. Here we go.
Come on,
UKW Valor
please.
has selected
UKW Valor selects
Heartbeats so loud, here we go again. Renegade
David Mason
I know who this is.
Andrews. A massive selection. Mason Andrews, the David of UKW Valente, who me and you have been really hyping up as the opportunity to maybe take that next step in his career and no longer be considered the David. Maybe start acting like a Goliath and take charge of your career.
Yeah,
He definitely
I
hasn't had
said
any
that.
luck.
I said that at Pinnacle. You can't be considered a David your whole life. You got to take control. You got to be the one. You got to be the one to you know. You got to be such a big favorite. You got to make these other people seem like underdogs. You can't be the underdog your whole life. You're an underdog for a reason. You got to take the next step. It's a good pick for Valor. Again, a lot of risks there. Mason Andrews, I mean, we've seen that the gamble could pay off with him, but it's still a gamble nonetheless.
All right, here we go. 12th round. Renegade's pick is in, and they have selected UKW Renegade selects
It's loud, here we go again. Renegade souls ready to break the chains. With a fire burning in the night, no stopping us now. We're breaking through the fire.
UKW Live Heavyweight Champion. We are talking about Kendrick Collins. We just saw Kendrick Collins on one of UKW Live's events win the UKW Live Championship. If you want to see that, drop a follow on the UKW Twitch channel in the description to see him defend that title regularly over there. But now we're going to get to see him on UKW Renegade. Valente, without that championship, maybe looking to win a championship of more prestige.
Yeah, I mean, he's forged his own way so far on UKW Live, first ever UKW Live champion. But the way I see it is he's gonna have to compete twice a week now instead of once a week. He's got a little bit more on his shoulders, so we're gonna see how he handles pressure. So I'm excited to see how he does because I've already seen that he can win a championship, but we gotta see how he fares against bigger and better competition.
Yeah, that last match, it was no bruisey. He beat Black Iron Gabriel Cole. Those are two main names in that match. So he's definitely got that dog in him.
All right, here we go. It's Valor has sent in their pick for the 12th round as well, Valente. And they will select
UKW Valor selects.
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
They have selected one of my favorite prospects, UKW's new second son. We are talking about Alfie Parcher, a guy that is looking to make his next step, looking to get out of his brother's shadow, a brother that is signed to COH right now, and a massive opportunity for Alfie Parcher as he looks to join the UKW family on the dotted line and joins a stacked UKW Valor roster, Valente.
Yeah, I mean, Valor, again, with a bit of a gamble, but nonetheless, it is the 13th round. So, I mean, this is where you just kind of start throwing shots in the dark. So, I don't know a lot about him, but I like the story that he has. And hopefully he can become a star one day.
So
I need
now,
to figure out who this GM is because I got to have a stern talking with him with the way he's handled this draft.
now here we got the
I think
13th
he's handled
round.
it beautifully.
Renegade's already sent in their pick. Let's see who they go with. UKW Renegade selects
It's loud, here we go again. Renegade souls ready to break the chains. With a fire burning in the night, no stopping us.
another international sensation, Valente. We know that both Brandon Collins and Aaron Matthews were ineligible to be drafted, but a member of Vybe was still eligible to be drafted, and he has been drafted to Renegade. We are talking about Knockout himself, Phoenix Nitro. Nitro has been selected to UKW Renegade, as a member of Vybe. So a massive pick there for the knockout artist. And again, Renegade playing it smart, Sydney playing it smart, keeping a guy that would fit in the Pride division away from
Yep.
UKW Pride.
Yep. From Valor. Gotta keep it away from Valor. But also, you gotta think, the Pride division, while guys are able to be drafted, championship, there's members of the Pride division on Renegade who could challenge for Gabriel Cole's championship. So you gotta have guys that can potentially steal a championship from the other side, like how
Yes, when you get to these interpromotional events, Valente, you're very right. You've got to have guys that would protest that challenge.
like how Parker Peterson got drafted by Renegade. You avoided him going to Valor and potentially stealing the world championship.
Yes, having the opportunity to. That was a smart pick looking back on it. Because if Valor would have secured Parker Peterson, they would have had a chance to steal the UKW World Championship had Peter won the match on the week one episode. That would have been an amazing opportunity for Valor, but they were not able to secure it. As now here we go. The next pick is in for UKW Valor. Let's see who it will be.
UKW Valor selects
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
UKW's solo German superstar. We are talking about Julian Corrales. A massive opportunity for Julian Corrales. As he gets drafted to UKW Valor, a chance to really distinct himself from everywhere else, Valente, and join his long-standing rival in Mason Andrews. So keeping those two.
He's been a guy that I've enjoyed watching. I mean, despite, not doing too much yet, I like the potential that he has.
And a lot of people on this list that we've seen haven't done too much yet. These I tagged them the underdogs, and such as Julian Corrales. So we're not going to count him out. He's on a stacked roster. He's got a lot of potential. We're gonna have to see.
Now we head into the 14th round, and Renegade's already sent in their draft pick.
Colt King is also still on the board. I have no clue how.
They seem to be very excited about this next guy, as they have looked to select UKW Renegade selects. King of Pyro. We are talking about Eddie Nitro. Nitro has been selected. The King of Pyro now will head to UKW Renegade as their pick in the 14th round. And you think Valor's got to try to open up quickly and figure out what they're going to do, as they have already sent in their draft pick as well, Valente.
Ooh, they rushed that one in.
Quick to get their draft pick in here in the 14th round. And let's see who it is.
UKW Valor selects
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
You go, Dakota. They have finally selected the former UKW Cruiserweight Champion, Colt King.
Yeah, I mean, y'all are saying Renegade's winning right now. Yeah, they might be winning on championships, but Valor, in my opinion, is
Valor
truly
has
winning.
put together the better roster.
In-ring talent, I would say Valor is in that category. They have some major in-ring talent, in-ring wrestlers, one of the top in UKW. So Colt King just adds to that arsenal.
Now here we go, 15th round. What's going to be the pick here for Renegade? They just saw that. You got to think. And it's really starting to hurt them, Valente. They have taken a couple of guys that could have qualified for UKW Renegade's Cruiserweight division. Guys like Alfie Parcher. Guys like Colt King. That could have been really well on the Cruiserweight division. And also with the selecting Colt King, Valente, like we saw with Big K and Grayson earlier. That separates Diego Ortiz and Colt King, a long-standing rivalry here in UKW.
Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, I think Tristan Sidney is trying to right his wrongs with drafting Diego Ortiz. If it was me, if I was the GM for Renegade here, what I'd be doing is I'd be trying to draft any cruiserweight possible to steal the title back from Diego Ortiz, because I do not want another situation where he's trying to hold that title hostage and get more money than he needs.
Well, you got to
You got to
think
take
with
the title
the
back as soon as possible.
You gotta
So you
think
got
with-
to pick a cruiserweight guy here.
you got to think that with the selection of Ortiz, they had to have paid him.
Yeah,
So-
I'm sure, but the way I'd handle that is that you have a guy from another brand. You know, he clearly prioritizes the other brand. You now have to take your brand's title back, if you get what I'm saying.
All right, so here we go. 15th round, Renegade to send in their pick. UKW Renegade selects
Be so loud, here we go again. Renegade souls ready to break the chains. With a fire burning in the night, no stopping us.
Just like you had said, Valente, it is indeed a cruiserweight, and it is the high-flying Apollo. Exactly what UKW Renegade needed. So now, Valor on the clock. You got to think what Valor's going to do here in the 15th round.
Somebody like Richard Ward, another cruiserweight,
Richard
another great
Ward
cruiserweight. It's got
would
to
be-
stack that cruiserweight division on your respective brand.
and steal Ward over from Renegade, Dakota, because Renegade has that cruiserweight championship. You don't want them having Richard Ward, a guy that is synonymous with that division. So here we go. We're gonna
Exactly.
we got the pick in for Valor, and Valor has selected
UKW Valor selects
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
final member of the House of Fairholm. They have selected Adam Wolf. So John
Securing-
Fairholm and Adam Wolf both going to Valor, and that will be really the home of the House of Fairholm.
I think that's big, securing a faction like that and securing two dudes like them. John Fairholm, the absolute menace he is, the strong man, and Adam Wolfie. That's a nice tag team right there. That's a nice people to get on your brand.
Out here in the 16th, what is going to be this pick here? Valente had already talked about of how important it was to draft cruiserweights to try to bolster your cruiserweight division. They did that by drafting Apollo. You got to think maybe they could look to double dip. So here we go. The pick is in, and they have went with UKW Renegade selects
Be so loud, here we go again. Renegade souls ready to break the chains. With a fire burning in the night, no stopping us.
Okay, they have selected another guy that could qualify in the cruiserweight division. They have selected Disrupt, a major lucha talent looking to be that next breakout star, Dakota. That's back-to-back cruiserweights for their division.
Definitely need it. I mean, these cruiserweights are flying off this board so fast, and that's really where the show is put on. Those high flying maneuvers right off the top rope, and that's where the crowd's going to go in absolute roar. So very smart by both brands to stack up on that.
All right, here we go, guys. The next pick here,
Now, Richard Ward is still on the board.
Richard Ward here in the 17th round. Will Ward go here? Who could go here? So here we go. We got Valor's pick in. And the final pick of the 17th round is in.
UKW Valor selects
This is where you gain your valor. Lights are bright on Friday nights. Crowd is cheering, hearts are beating. You can feel it, you're alive.
Indeed, Richard Ward, Dakota.
Yeah, that's what you needed right there. The Richard Ward we love, and we saw the thing with Coke King, but that's just a minor setback. Richard Ward is still the cruiserweight competitor he's always been. So now he's in a stacked cruiserweight division. We're going to be able to see his talents on display on the UKW Valor.
Now we're still waiting for Renegade to send in their pick, and there it is. So there are multiple guys that could go with. Tyler Banshee still on the clock, still here. New guys like JQ and Liam Wyatt could be taken here, as they have decided instead that Renegade is going to select. UKW Renegade selects have decided to select Azrael, a talent looking to grow here in UKW, a talent looking to bolster his career, and a great selection here in the 18th round. Now Valor on the clock. They've sent in their pick. They have indeed selected
UKW Valor selects.
JQ, a major pick. Also a guy looking to grow here in UKW. Now here we are in the 19th round. 2 rounds left. Renegade, we are waiting to send in. There's 4 guys left up for grabs. There is Liam Wyatt. There is Tyler Banshee. And there is Little Carter and Tank Robinson, Dakota. 4 guys left here.
We haven't heard much of Little Carter in a while.
We haven't heard much from Tank Robinson. Robinson recovering from a knee surgery.
Yep.
A severe knee surgery. You got to think if that knee surgery wouldn't have happened, he would have been taken way higher.
Beautiful talent Tank Robinson was. People got to remember that. Little minor setback with the injury. Little Carter. I guess I can only say that's Little Carter.
Here we go, 18th round. They have indeed selected UKW Renegade selects. Liam Wyatt, a guy looking to build his name in UKW, much similar to Azrael and JQ. And now Valor's on the clock, and they've already sent in their pick as well, Dakota.
Let's see. I say Tank.
They've selected the long-standing member of the UKW roster already. They have selected
UKW Valor selects.
Tyler Banshee. Banshee's been here for a little while, hasn't really gotten that many opportunities, but he's been on the UKW roster for a little bit, knows his way around things. You got to think that is the safe pick between the two. And now here we go. We are here for round 20, the last round of UKW Valente. Little Carter and Tank Robinson, the only 2 left on the draft board.
They got to take Tank, right?
You got to think who will Renegade take?
Beautiful talent.
All right, there's the pick. The pick is in. And UKW Renegade has selected. UKW Renegade selects. Little Carter. Carter will be joining the cruiserweight division on UKW Renegade, Dakota. And they are really valuing that knee injury to Tank Robinson. And as we know, we don't really have to do anything about it. Tank Robinson will head over to Valor as their basically a supplemental pick. So Tank Robinson fills out the Valor roster. And now we see a full laid out roster that includes UKW Valor having Connor Irwin, Black Iron, Yamashita, Rogue Abbott, Grayson Duck, Andre Graves, Akuma Kenta, Caleb Smith, John Fairholm, Shane Roach, Mason Andrews, Alfie Parcher, Julian Corrales, Colt King, Adam Wolf, Richard Ward, JQ, Tyler Banshee, and Tank Robinson. While UKW Renegade has selected Zay Jordan, Andre Simmons, Diego Ortiz, PJ Razor, Chris Danger, Big K Caleb Allen, the Ultimate Opportunist Parker Peterson, Isaiah Stevenson, the Rockstar Brad Barnett, Alex Harper, Daniel Dynamite, Hatsumi Cure, Kendrick Collins, Phoenix Nitro, Eddie Nitro, Apollo, Disrupt, Azrael, Liam Wyatt, and their final selection being Little Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy for you joining us here on the 12th for the UKW Draft. This has been your boy Cass. That is Valente right there. And down there is Dakota. And we will join you on the 15th for commentary from all three of you boys. Bye, guys.